It's going straight. Good morning and welcome to Hibs TV and Easter Road for the final time this season. I'm Adam Tomlinson and I'm delighted to say I'll be previewing this one with Hibs striker Christian Doidge and Hibs women's captain Joelle Murray. Now we'll pull up the league table and St Johnstone come into this one with a positive mindset, beating Aberdeen midweek that secured that they will not be in the automatic relegation place. However, all their eyes are now on that playoff match where they face Inverness Caledonian Thistle. On the Hibs side, of course, there is very little to play for this afternoon other than pride and responding from that 3-1 defeat to Dundee midweek. On a positive note, though, we do come into this one, have a chance to put that right and to create a little bit of momentum going into the summer. It's a 12 o'clock kick-off here. David Gray was very honest when speaking to me pre-match about how this season had gone and that the players need to show what they're really capable of this afternoon. Dave, obviously one game left this season. What's your message to the players going into it?
Pretty simple for me, to be honest. Need a reaction from the result on Tuesday night. You've got one opportunity before the end of the season to try and put right. You're never going to put it completely right, but to try and restore a bit of pride in performance and also give the supporters a little bit of something to shout about, a little bit of something to support, and more importantly to make sure we perform better than we did.
How important is it that we end the season on a high with a win, just after how difficult the whole year has been?
No, it's been a hugely frustrating season for everyone, and I'm sure the fans, rightly so, are very frustrated. We all are, no one's shying away from that. And like I say, in football you've got the opportunity pretty quickly to try and make amends, and that opportunity comes for us. At least it's a home game, which is great. The fans will be there and the numbers as always, and it's really important that we do everything we possibly can, as you say there, to end the season as well as we possibly can.
Yeah, and in terms of St Johnstone, obviously they'll be in the playoff game after the end of the campaign. What do you expect from them?
It's a difficult one because they'll be looking towards the playoffs now, but I think it's important for teams that go into that situation that they try and have momentum. I think the better they can end the season and confidence they can get from that puts them in a better position. So full expect them to be at it and playing for places in them games. I think it'll be important, and as I've said many times before, there's no such thing as a nothing game. So we will be fully, I think it's more about us. It's not really about what St Johnstone do and the team they put out or whatever their ambitions or objectives are. It's all about what we do, and as I said before, it's about a reaction from Tuesday night and an opportunity to try and make amends for what's been a very disappointing season.
Yeah, and in terms of team news, anyone coming back, anyone else missing out?
There's no one coming back, which is unfortunate. It's just the situation we're in. We're very light at the moment. Ryan obviously came off ill on Tuesday night. I'm hoping he'll be okay. There's another couple struggling a little bit as well, but we've also got tomorrow. We'll just see if everyone comes through training tomorrow and where we're at and assess it from there. But in terms of players coming back, we know we'll be in the same position.
Yeah, and obviously when Sean Maloney left, you and Eddie were given the caretaker manager role until the end of this season. Is this something that you've enjoyed, and how much can you take away from your time as caretaker manager?
I don't know, the word enjoyed is probably not the right word to use. It's probably something that, and when it's all done and dusted and I get time to reflect and look back on it, I'll have learned a lot very in a short period of time, which selfishly for me has been, will be very beneficial moving forward. I've had to learn quickly. I've been in a fortunate position to learn from two different managers, which is not a great situation to be in, but both times have been different and I've learned a lot in such a short period of time, like I said. But at the moment it's not a feeling of enjoyment at all. It's about a job to do between now and the end of the season. And that's the only way I'm looking at it at the moment, which is just to try and end the season as well as we can.
Absolutely, Dave. Thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you. Cheers.
a really honest reflection there from David Gray, and he's right there, Joelle, isn't he, that there is a lot to play for the players this afternoon, because they want to send the supporters back who've had a really difficult year with some kind of positivity.
Absolutely. I think albeit there's nothing really in the game, like you said, I think it's an opportunity to restore pride in the players, pride in this club, because we have been through a kind of transitional season. We've had our highs and our lows, and absolutely there's lots to play for, especially the players. I think the players want to sign the season off on a positive performance.
Yeah, and David Gray, Doidge, obviously someone that you know very well, you've worked with on the training pitch closely too. What's he like as a coach and as a leader?
Well, obviously I played with him for a little while before he retired and went into coaching, and he was a great player and he's a real leader on the park, and that's why he was captain at this club for such a long time. And going into coaching, he's been brilliant. Obviously with Jack, first of all, he was very new to it, but as the weeks went on, he's really picked it up, and he's been caretaker now for twice this season, and he's done really well. Feel a bit bad for him with the last few results, because he doesn't deserve that, because he's been really good.
Yeah, he seemed to get into that coaching role pretty seamlessly, didn't he? Did you expect that to happen? Obviously, I can imagine from a player, when you're in and amongst the lads and then becoming a coach where you have to have a little bit extra level of responsibility, that's quite difficult to find that balance, but he seemed to just flow into it really nicely.
Yeah, we used to have a chat all the time, like, who do you think is going to be a manager out of that slot? And Dave was always the top of the list, and he always said that that's what he wanted to do, and he's come in and he's done brilliant, and I think he's definitely going to be a really good manager one day.
Yeah, and I guess that transition, Joelle, is something that you've been having to learn this year, obviously, as player coach.
Yeah, absolutely. I look at Dave and his journey into coaching and his journey to where he is today, and that's absolutely a journey I want to kind of replicate. He transitioned in his last season as kind of player in some capacity to coaching, and certainly the opportunity that he's got today and had previously in the season is one that's kind of very, he deserves it. I've worked with him on the kind of A licence with the SFA, and what a player, what a coach, and what a person. He's an incredibly humble person, and what Christian said there, that's something that I can kind of relate to. Yeah.
What's he like on that A licence course? Can you tell how good of a coach he is?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you get that kind of instant impact, and with Dave, he naturally grasped everyone's respect. Everyone kind of was hanging off every word. His delivery, his preparation was meticulous, and you could see instantly then that he's got all the makings of a great coach.
Yeah, what's he like as a manager, Doidge, in the dressing room? He seems very cool, calm, collected around the training ground. Does that change on a match day?
Not really. He is a calm guy. You wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of him, mind. But he's a really good talker, really good motivator, and he's just with his planning and stuff like that. We're going into games, we feel like we know exactly what the other team are going to do, and today we've worked hard for this game because we want to send off on a good note. Yeah,
and we were talking off camera about David Gray and what he was like at that cup final. Obviously, that was incredibly early on in his coaching career, let alone being caretaker manager. Tell us about his pre-match team talk and what that meant to the lads going into that final.
Well, I know he got thrown into the cup final, and before a big game like that, your last meeting's normally one to motivate you and get you up for it. Obviously, you're up for it anyway, but it's just that added, big game feel, and I can imagine him being really nervous for that chat, and he's come in and he blew all the lads away. Everyone was talking about it after, just saying, oh my God, Davey's ready to be a manager straight away. But it was really good, and so hard for him as well. He's only just come out of playing, so for him to go into management and do really well is fair play to him.
Yeah, and for your year, Doidge, obviously it's not been the season you wanted. Just talk us through your year and what that's been like for you personally.
Yeah, it's been tough. Don't want to sit here and make excuses myself, but it all started on the first day of pre-season when I got COVID, and I picked up the Achilles injury because I probably come back too soon and played a few games, and it's just been downhill from there really. But I'm looking forward to next season now. I'm looking forward to getting in good shape over the summer, coming back obviously with a new manager and trying to impress him.
Yeah, what's that like when it's so stop-start as a striker? Because obviously there's a lot of pressure on you guys to score goals, but when you're not getting the run of games, or you're not feeling 100% or as sharp as you were last season, that must be really difficult.
It is hard, but it's all down to getting back on the training pitch, keep turning up, keep smiling, and keep doing the things that got you there in the first place. I've had spells like this in my career numerous times, and I've always managed to get out the other side. So just keep doing what I've done throughout my career, and I know I'll get out the other side. Yeah,
and obviously it's St Johnstone today, a side that you kind of kick-started your Hibs career off against when you scored that hat-trick.
Yeah, just another time where I hadn't scored for a few games, and one game it all clicked. I think I got a fluky one, the first one, and then the next two come straight away, and then went on a really good run, and that's something that I've seemed to do a lot in my career.
Yeah, and Joelle, just finally, obviously, now after this one, the players will go into a kind of pre-season or a break before they come back to pre-season. What's that like as a player? What's the balance between actually going on holiday, resting mentally, physically, but then having to kind of train in the background to make sure that you can hit the pre-season running?
I think for me, from my experiences, the balance is crucial. It's important to, Christian and I were speaking off air, it's important to get that rest and recovery. A lot of players don't kind of appreciate just how important that is. So it is important to get the rest and recovery, but it is also important not to take too long. And when you've come off the back of a season whereby you've maybe had injury or a disappointing kind of collective or individual performances, you want to kind of hit the ground running when pre-season comes. So that off-season is extremely important just to get that balance right.
Yeah, and Doidge, I guess that your mind is firmly set on having a week or two, but then really in the background making sure that you're ready for when the new manager comes in.
Definitely, and with the current injury I've got, I'd probably start running next week, so that's probably what I'm going to do. I might have a few days away and just rest the mind, and then just start doing a bit of jogging, just as I would do if I was at the training ground.
Absolutely. Well, we'll head to the commercial break now, but stay with us because you'll hear more from Christian Doidge and Joelle Murray. Alongside that, we've got a little chat with James Scott and Stevie Carr from Dnipro Kids joining us soon.
Big men forward. Crawford with the corner, and it comes, it's nodded away from the near post. It's picked up again by Crawford. Played back in towards the back post area. The header comes in, it's in the net. St Johnstone have the lead. Liam Gordon scores. Again, ball into the Hibs penalty area from Ali Crawford, not defended at the back post. Liam Gordon nods it beyond Matt Macy, and St Johnstone have, albeit an undeserved lead, they have the lead. Every man back in their own half. Campbell midway inside the St Johnstone half. Chance here. Jamie Murphy, Kevin Nisbet has the equaliser!
Here we go!
Kevin Nisbet has the goal for Hibs. It's been coming. And finally, with 8 minutes remaining, Hibs are back on level terms, and no one can say that's not deserved. Now Hibs have 8 minutes plus stoppage time to have a real go here and try and win the 3 points. They've chucked absolutely everything at St Johnstone in this second half, and that's a quality finish from Kevin Nisbet. Lovely layoff from Scott Allen to Jamie Murphy into the path of Nisbet. Josh Doig will have this one for Hibs. Oh, what a ball that is from Scott Allen into the path of Jamie Murphy. He finds Kevin Nisbet. Nisbet, it's a poor ball. It falls kindly though for Hibs. Cadden has it over on the far side. Whips the ball in with the right foot. St Johnstone get it clear once again. It's picked up by Doig on this near touch line. Into the feet of Scott Allen. He does brilliantly. He's inside the area. Scott Allen, what can he do? Squares it. Chance for Hibs. It's in the net. Hibs have the lead. Jamie Murphy. Come on! Ball in the back of the net. What an absolutely brilliant piece of skill from Scott Allen to start that move off. And he then got forward, turned his man, gets into the penalty area, looks up, sees Jamie Murphy all on his own at the back post, rolls it across, and Jamie Murphy this time buries it 5 minutes remain here at McDermott Park, and it's St Johnstone 1, Hibs 2.
I tell you, it's all Scott Allen. All Scott Allen. Look at this wonderful little turn.
Terry Healy Heating is Scotland's premier new boiler and central heating company. Your first call for new gas boiler installations, central heating repair and maintenance services. Interest-free credit available and low monthly payment plans. Get it right first time, every time. With Scotland's premier new boiler and central heating company. See terryhealyheating.com, an Edinburgh trusted trader and gas safe registered.
Terry Healy Group.
Get your hands on this limited time offer with Carabao, the great tasting low-calorie energy drink.
Millions use NordVPN to help protect themselves from cybercrime. People working from any place with internet access. Heroes on a mission. Travelers using unsecured public Wi-Fi. The ones who have an app for everything. Get exclusive discount with a code. NordVPN, proud sponsor of Hibernian FC.
Solicitors are a bit like sheep. We're all pretty similar. It's just that with some, there's a lot more fluff than others. For a full-service solicitor and estate agent without the fluff, keep it simple. Watermans. Straightforward legal advice. See watermans.co.uk. Simple.
Dave Angel Eco Warrior. Saving energy has never been more important. Now we turn the lights off when we leave a room. We only boil the amount of water that we need. And I batch bake my vegan sausage rolls. Proper. The cheapest, greenest energy is the energy we don't use. Oh, here we go.
Shirley, you'll bring the old grid down.
Great Britain. Save like Dave. Learn more at utilita.co.uk, save like Dave.
Welcome back to Hibs TV, and I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Stevie Carr from Dnipro Kids. Stevie, first of all, thank you so much for being here. Dnipro Kids are coming down to Easter Road today. Just talk us through how Dnipro Kids started for those supporters that are listening that don't know.
The charity started back in 2005 on the back of a UEFA Cup game in Ukraine. Team went out there, we did something at one of the local orphanages, and supporters that went out there were really taken by the hospitality of the Ukrainian people, their time in the city, and obviously the story of what we did with the orphanage. And it really took off. When we came back, supporters kept asking how they could support this. Could we do some more? Could we go out again? And that's how it started, and it's been very much a supporter-led charity since then. It's the supporters that keep the charity going, and that's why we've managed to last for almost 17 years now.
Yeah, and obviously 17 years down the road, then the unthinkable happened in Ukraine. Talk us through your thought process. Obviously you have all the ties with Dnipro Kids of actually going out there and making such a massive difference like you have done.
I mean, we've made a big difference to the children's lives for many years, so very much we're a big part of the children's lives, and they're a big part of our lives. The supporters, you know, they watch what's going on, they get the updates from the charity to see the things that we're doing, and everybody's really invested in it. So when the escalation of aggression happened from the Russian army, and we saw that Kiev was under attack, Kharkiv was under attack, there was tanks moving up from the south, Dnipro's slap bang in the middle, so it was a real worry for us what would happen. There's a lot of evacuation, and we felt that it was probably a good idea for our orphanages to evacuate. The problem was that they were scared, you know, basically. It was dangerous, the road was dangerous. If you could imagine being on a bus and suddenly finding yourself behind a military vehicle and you're then a prime target. So it was a real worry, and they were scared to take that journey. My thinking was that if I went to Ukraine and showed them that I'm willing to come into Ukraine, are you willing to come back out with me, that would spur them into moving, and it did. You know, I went to Poland, we got a bus, we came in. Luckily they managed to get a train up to Lviv, and we got them on the bus and managed to get them out of Ukraine, which was the start of a journey. There was a small matter of visas after that, but at least they were safe.
Was there a point when that was going on where you thought, I might not be safe here, or was there anything that your family and friends said to you that made you think, I know I'm doing the right thing, but I'm terrified?
No, I never at any time was worried about my safety. My only concern was the children in Dnipro. I just felt it was the thing that needed to be done. It just needed that spark, that spur, just to get them to make that decision to come out and keep themselves safe.
What was it like, or what were their reactions like then when you came to Dnipro? They saw your face and they knew that you were going to help them get out of the country.
It was very emotional. I'll not lie. It was really emotional. And you have to remember, of course, we've been through COVID as well. You know, we've not been out to Ukraine since September 2019 was the last time that we're out there. So we've not seen these children for a few years. And then with everything that was going on, just finally seeing them and knowing that they were safe, it was, there was lots of tears from everybody.
Yeah, and you've obviously brought the kids now back over to Scotland. They'll be coming to Easter Road later today, but this isn't the first time Dnipro Kids have been to Easter Road, is it?
We did have children. I mean, the escalation of troubles in Ukraine, this did actually start back in 2014 with the Russian invasion of Crimea and the Donbass area of Ukraine. The last time that we brought children over, these were children who'd lost their fathers fighting in the front line, protecting the country. So it wasn't children from the orphanage, but it was good to be able to bring these children over. And it's something that we've always wondered whether we'd ever manage to do, is bring the children from the orphanage over and show them the club and introduce them to the supporters that have kept this charity going for so long, and show them around our beautiful country. So the circumstances are horrendous, absolutely horrendous, and we would prefer that it wasn't under this situation, but there's no doubt that it's fantastic to have them here and to be able to bring them to Easter Road, where really this all started. It's just, I mean, it's a great moment for Dnipro Kids, for everybody involved with Dnipro Kids, and for the supporters of Hibs as well.
Yeah, and there's obviously loads going on for them around Easter Road today. It'll be really special, won't it, with the supporters when they can see yourself and the Dnipro Kids out on the pitch and around the stadium.
I'm sure they'll get a very warm welcome when they come. It's going to be a special day for everybody today, so we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and just finally on this, in terms of the club, the government, the local authorities, How impressed have you been with the support that you've had from everyone to actually make this happen? Because like you said, there was lots of hurdles to jump over, wasn't there?
Huge hurdles, and there's been times where we've felt that it's not going to happen, and at every stage that we've hit a problem or hit a hurdle, somebody stepped up. The support that we've had, the response from everybody involved, from the club, from the government, from everybody, has just been absolutely phenomenal. And we wouldn't be where we are just now without the support of everybody, from someone that gives a monthly donation of £10 to someone that sticks £5 in a turnstile collection bucket, to bigger donations. It's just fantastic, and it's how we're managing to do what we're doing.
Yeah, Stevie, thank you so much for coming on here and sharing such an inspirational story. Back onto the football now, and James Scott spoke to me ahead of this one. He's had 2 goal contributions in the last 2 games and is looking to end the season strongly.
It's line for Doig. Neo goes long. James Scott does well inside the Dundee penalty area. Scott goes for it and scores! An equaliser for Hibs. James Scott. And in fairness to James Scott, Tam, he's deserved that. He's been working his socks off out there again the opening 28 minutes of this game. Had a couple of chances. That time he gets on the end of a long ball from Joe Newell just outside the Dundee penalty area. He does well to turn Jordan McGee and slots the ball underneath Harry Sharp, the Dundee keeper, to bring Hibs back on level terms. 28 minutes gone. Dundee 1, Hibs 1.
No, I'm absolutely thrilled for him. As you said, he deserves that. In the last few weeks he's worked his backside off. He's took a lot of sticks since he's came to the club.
James, obviously you come into the end of your time with us. How would you sum up this period?
It's definitely been a roller coaster. That's the word I'd use. But I've enjoyed every minute of it. I'd like to play more, contributed to more goals and assists, but I think I've finished the season off quite well, and that's all I could ask for. Yeah, I was going to say, you've had a run in the team over the last few weeks. Yeah. For you, what's that been like to have that kind of trust and confidence placed in you by David Gray? Definitely, I think David Gray showed a lot of trust in me, and he's always said he's trusted me, so for him to take over and to give me the chance is all I can really ask for. Yeah, and obviously to get yourself in that position, you must have worked incredibly hard on the training ground to be able to force yourself into the team. Definitely, obviously, like David notices like what I do after training, obviously the extra stuff I put in, and as a player he knows what it would have been like, so for him to see me obviously putting in the extra work has helped me massively. Yeah, and 2 goal contributions in the last 2 games. Obviously for you that's a really nice feeling coming to the end, but I can imagine there's a little bit of you that wishes it had come a little bit earlier. No, definitely. I think I would have loved to have had more contributions throughout the season, but I didn't play as much as I'd like to. But to finish off the season well and on a high is all I can ask for. How much of a relief was it when that goal went in on Tuesday? So much relief, and I think you could probably see it from my celebration. But I was just over the moon. Obviously I'd have liked it to be in a better scenario, but I think to get my first goal for this club means a lot to me. Yeah, it's easy to forget that you're still obviously 21 years of age, but how much have you learnt from this loan spell, getting over the things that haven't gone quite so well, but also trying to manage your emotions? Yeah, well, people always forget that I'm 21, but I'm still young and I'm still learning, I'm still adapting, and people just got to trust me. I think that's what David does. He puts his trust in me, and he obviously gets a good bit out of me, but it's just been hard as well. I can't really say anything else, but I've enjoyed my time here. Yeah, and obviously coming up to the final league game of the season off the back of Tuesday, is it the mood in the dressing room just to restore that little bit of pride? I think, yeah, definitely, to give everyone back, even the coaching staff, the fans, like everyone. I think just to finish the season off on a good note, and I would like to think that it'd be a full house on Sunday or close to it, and I think the boys just want to give their all back to the fans, so hopefully we can get a win on Sunday. Absolutely. Thank you for speaking to us. Thank you. Cheers.
Well, we heard from James Scott just then. Doidge as a fellow striker, Jimmy hasn't had the time he would have wanted here at Hibs, but to now see him kind of gaining more goal contributions, you must be really pleased for him.
Yeah, I am. He's a great lad. Everyone always forgets how young he is. You know, he's coming from Hull, and I think he probably personally expected to play a lot more than he has. He's done really well in training and maybe didn't get the opportunities that he'd like, but the last few games he's been playing as a number 9, and I think that's probably the right position for him. He's got so much technical ability for a big guy, and he's been putting his body in as well with the defenders and stuff, and he's got his rewards for that, and hopefully he can give us a bit more of that today and help us win the game.
Yeah, obviously for him, Joelle, he had a big injury as well prior to coming to Hibs. Maybe he just needed that rhythm in terms of match minutes to actually show what he could do.
Of course, yeah. I think, like Christian said there, I think the start to his kind of stint here at Hibs probably didn't go as well as he'd hoped, but for me he's finishing very, very strongly, and he'll be looking to build on that goal midweek against Dundee today here against St Johnstone.
Yeah, and Doidge, what's the message around the training camp from David Gray coming into this one?
Well, I think it's to try and finish the season on a tiny bit of a high. The paying viewers come in today, try and get a win for them. We know how frustrating it's been. The players are hurting in there, and they want to put in a good performance today and get ready for next season.
You've got a game this afternoon as well. Glasgow City, just talk us through that one.
Yeah, so we've got, like the men here, we've got our last game in the season, and similarly it's been a season that we had hoped to do better in, but today is a game against a very competitive team, a very good team, to try and finish the season on a positive note.
Yeah, and you signed a new deal, I think it was last week. It feels like a lot longer ago than that. But how happy are you to put pen to paper on a new deal, and how positive are you about the future of Hibs women?
Yeah, absolutely delighted. There was no question about me going anywhere else. I think the biggest question was whether I could go again for another season, and I'm feeling good, I'm feeling fit and fresh, and that was probably the main kind of deciding factor to re-sign at a club that I've always been at, always loved and love being part of. So yeah, a season to look forward to. There's exciting things on the horizon, and one I'm glad to be part of.
Absolutely. Well, Christian, Joelle, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for watching at home. Remember, you can join our commentary team later on today to listen to Hibernian versus St Johnstone. Thank you very much.